This episode of the Astro Powder Powdcast is brought to you by Gema. Synchronized monitoring and control of your entire automated process is the core of Gema's Magic Control 4.0 data management systems, with options like line management offering deeper insight into productivity and consumption, or energy management allowing you to monitor and save both energy and air consumption, or batch management offering tracking of powder used to coat production batches. Gema provides the very best in technology and connectivity for smarter factory automation. To learn more about Gema's Magic Control 4.0 data management systems, visit CompleteItWithGema.com. Connect it, control it, track it, synchronize it. Complete it with Gema.
Hey all you powder coating fans, and welcome to episode 24 of the Ask Joe Powder Powdcast. I'm your host, Joe Powder, aka Kevin Biller, and with me is my esteemed colleague, sidekick, he's an incomparable cook and formulator, Nathan. He's the formulator dude for Powder Coating Research Group.
It's for all you donkey! We're broadcasting from the Powder Coating Research Group studios in Columbus, Ohio. The purpose of the Ask Joe Powder podcast is to bring the latest news and technical know-how to the global powder coating community. So let's get it rolling.
All right. But before we do,
Shout out!
I'd like to give a hearty shout out to Sheila Lamoth. Sheila wears many hats. She's the editor of Powder Coated Tough magazine, which is a flagship publication of the Powder Coating Institute. And I'm going to note that the most recent issue of PCT celebrated women in powder coating. Very well done, Sheila. It was an excellent issue of the magazine. She's also the VP of Strategic Initiatives for CCAI, which is the Chemical Coaters Association International, and the program manager for Women in Finishing Forum, which this year is going to be held on the 4th through the 6th of October in South Bend, Indiana. You can get details about that from www.womeninfinishing.org. And here's a little known fact about Sheila. She and her husband train canines to be guide dogs for the blind. And one last tidbit, she's a die-hard Miami Dolphins fan. You wonder how I would know this? She's named one of the most recent guide dogs, Big Zonka, who's an Ohio native, and if you've been around long enough, you'll know Larry Zonka played fullback for the historic, undefeated 1972 Miami Dolphins. Okay, well, it's time now for our Guess What segment.
Guess what?
All right, here's a item from European Coatings. As of January 1st, the new China REACH, also known as China New Chemical Substance Notification, is being officially enforced. Enterprises which manufacture or export new chemicals into China should begin complying with the new regulatory requirements laid out in the new China REACH. Included in this are some significant updates regarding notification scope, type, procedures, material requirements, and post-notification requirements.
Boy, if it's anything like the European Union REACH, it's a bureaucratic mess at times, and it can be quite costly, but I understand nations need to have control over materials.
I think it shows that China's just taken the environmental and the chemical issues seriously, and it's just going to be a little bit more red tape to import and export different chemicals, but it's, you have to register all your new substances with this.
Kind of makes sense, right? Can't doubt them for that, and I guess we'll just see how it goes.
This one's from Paint Square. The U.S. Green Building Council announced earlier this week that it's expanding its LEED Earth campaign to homes, communities, and cities around the world. LEED Earth is designed to bring LEED to countries where green building is still emerging. The program offers certification at no cost to the first project in an area to certify. New projects became eligible for consideration this month. Finally, from Paint and Coating Industry, IFS announced that the company's broken ground on a new facility near their current headquarters in Gainesville, Texas. It'll initially be a 40,000 square foot facility as part of a 70,000 square foot planned expansion. Scheduled to open later this year, the new building will accommodate increased capacity, new technology, will include a space for manufacturing, warehousing, and development projects. So they're growing.
Yeah, and this is a real, kind of exciting news, and hats off to our friends at IFS. They're a privately held, medium-sized company, and they've just been really, really putting a lot of energy into powder coating technology and industry over the last 10, 15 years especially, and I think they're making some things happen. So, you guys are doing a great job. We salute you.
Rock and roll.
Okay, friends. Now it's time for the question and answer portion of our podcast.
Do you have a question?
Ask Joe Powder.
Well, you can ask him.
Ask Joe Powder.
He has the answer that'll advance your
powder coating.
It's the Ask Joe Powder Podcast.
Our first question comes from Nicholas in Dayton, Ohio. He asks, Joe, hello. I hope this message reaches you well. Our powder qualification effort for the United States Air Force is moving forward at a steady pace. We're starting to focus on how to effectively remove powder coating layers since the field often needs to conduct non-destructive inspections. Do you recommend chemical agents, media blasting, or a third option? There are concerns regarding the burn-off method and fluidized sand bed because of the potential of losing temper and alloy properties. With respect to chemical agents, do you know of any type of non-methylene chloride chemical agents that work well? Which blast media types work well? Any information would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, Nicholas. Hey, it's nice to hear from you, and it sounds like the program is going well. Here's where I would start. I would check out what these two companies have to offer. And this is in the United States, so our international friends, I don't know, you may find other options in your region. But Hubbard Hall and Solvent Clean. Solvent Clean is spelled with a K-L-E-E-N-E. But check out those two companies. Both have developed strippers that do not contain methylene chloride, and they emit no hazardous air pollutants. I've used one of those products successfully, and as a matter of fact, I recently stripped the paint from the nose cone, essentially, of my wife's trusty 1973 Grumman Traveler airplane. This was back when the weather was kind of cold, and the stripper worked perfectly at room temperature, and I was even able to get away with this process in my basement due to the lack of smelly solvents in the stripper. So it's very easy to use, non-toxic, effective, and it doesn't cause a lot of worker exposure issues. You mentioned media stripping, and it's a good technique. The thing that's important is to use the proper medium. You need something that's aggressive enough to strip, but not too aggressive that it's going to damage the surface. From personal experience, I've used glass or ceramic beads to gently remove coatings, and remove the coatings without damaging the substrate. You mentioned high temperature stripping, and that would include burn-off and also sand, hot sand type methods. You mentioned about the alloys and everything, and certainly with aircraft type alloys, raising the temperature to those required for those types of processes, it's a no-go. I would stay away from these types of stripping methods unless you've got really heavy cast metal parts. I'm talking maybe even cast iron or something like that, which I don't believe you're going to encounter with aircraft type scenarios. So anyway, Nicholas, I hope this helps. Best regards, Joe Powder. Okay, now a word from our sponsors.
Are you looking for a solution to coat your most difficult products with no touch-up? Then Gama's dynamic contouring equipment is the right solution for you. Unlike robotic coating, dynamic contouring offers greater flexibility without all the programming hassle, while correctly positioning each powder gun to automatically coat your parts. For more information, call 877-437-6771. Once again, that's 877-437-6771. And be sure to mention, Ask Joe sent me. Automate it, position it, detect it, code it. Complete it with Gama.
The Powder Coating Research Group is a proud sponsor of the Ask Joe Powder Podcast. PCR is the only independent laboratory dedicated to powder coating technology. We do everything from raw material evaluation, formulating the next generation of coatings, new product development, testing, troubleshooting, training, and consulting. To find out more, visit our website at powdercoatingresearch.com, or you can email Kevin Biller at kevinbiller@yahoo.com. Thanks for listening to the Ask Joe Powder Podcast. All right, we're back. Our next question is a two-parter, so we'll start off with part one. It comes from Frank in Rhode Island. He says, "Hello, Joe. I enjoyed reading your technology interchange article on polyester coatings. I'm in the pet tag industry and searching for a powder which I can apply to my tags that can be sublimated with transfer paper using a dye sublimation process. We're presently buying a pre-painted aluminum material. The problem is the edges are not protected and it doesn't look like a quality product. I'd like to powder coat the tags. We've had some local coaters apply a white coating, which looks great, but the coating will not accept the heat transfer."
Okay, Frank. All right. Well, using powder as your base for dye sublimation, it's a good idea, and it's a well-known technique in the industry. So let me fill you in on some of the details. The powder coatings that have been specifically designed to accept dye sublimation are not just your regular off-the-shelf polyesters. These are specially formulated products, and they're usually based on high-quality polyurethane chemistry. So have your coater request a powder that can accept the sublimation process and see what they say. Most of the major powder coating manufacturers actually have a product. Request a high-quality polyurethane powder. Tell them that you'll be using it for a base for the dye sublimation process, and I am certain that they can help you. And Frank, if you need any more information, give me a shout.
All right, and Frank did in fact need some more info. He replied, "Hi, Joe. I'm totally brand new to the process. Do you offer consulting? I really want to do this correctly and eliminate the learning curve as much as possible. I've purchased basic powder coating equipment for experimentation. Our current volume is 5,000 to 10,000 tags weekly. The best seller is a 2x1 GI tag. Don't laugh, but our research oven is a GE intended for in-home food preparation. The GE is the most accurate in temperature control. Not sure if the convection feature will help in keeping the temperature even."
Okay, Frank. You told me not to laugh. Okay, I'm smiling, but I'm not laughing, Frank. The GE oven is not a bad idea. I'll tell you some things from my experience. I prefer the electric convection over the gas convection for temperature stability. I have personal experience with this. I'm not coating parts in my kitchen or even my garage and curing them with a regular kitchen stove. However, a little bit of a story. My lovely wife started a custom cookie business, biscuits, you might say, in other parts of the world, out of our home. And she was having problem with the quality consistency of her products, these cookies, which led me to investigate the temperature recovery time of our GE convection oven. This was a gas-fired convection oven. I used a temperature data logging instrument from our laboratory, and what I found was the recovery time with gas convection was much longer than the actual bake time that was required for these cookies. So my wife would open up the oven mid-bake. She'd rotate her baking sheets, which were full of cookies, and then she'd lose so much temperature, she'd close the oven, and it would not recover in time to bake the cookies properly. So we did a little bit of research, and we found that an electric convection oven had a much better temperature consistency and a much quicker recovery time. So we bit the bullet, and we bought an electric convection oven, and voila, she was back making perfect cookies first time, every time. Another thing I want to just mention, kind of underscore, is regarding your operations, you need to get the proper powder chemistry and very closely follow the bake conditions to ensure that the powder is completely cured. So when it says time at temperature for the powder, this means after the parts that are coated reach that temperature, that's when you start your clock for how long they need to bake. So I do a little bit of testing before I would commit a lot of material and substrates, but just keep these things in mind, and I think you're going to be fine. Good luck, Joe. Okay, everyone, before we go, let's fill you in on some upcoming events.
Hey, friends, where are we going? To an upcoming event.
All right, and Kevin mentioned this in the shout-out, but we'll mention it here again. The CCAI is hosting the 2021 Women in Finishing Forum. That's October 4th through the 6th, 2021, South Bend, Indiana, at the University of Notre Dame. I don't know how to pronounce that. The Powder Coating Institute's Powder Coating Week has been moved to July now. The Paint and Coatings Show in Barcelona, Spain is the 1st and 2nd of June, 2021. The Eastern Coatings Show, that's the one at Atlantic City, New Jersey, has been moved to November 17th through 19th. That's no longer in June. The European Coatings Show in Nuremberg, Germany, that's September 14th through 16th. The Powder Coating Summit, which is held here in Columbus, Ohio, that's the 22nd and 23rd of September. And then on the 28th through 30th of September, Opera Fati is going on in Brazil.
Did you mention You did. You're going to mention it now. Sorry.
All right, and we also want to talk a little bit about the Powder Coating Kitchen short course that we're holding here at the Powder Coating Research Group in Columbus, Ohio, June 22nd and 23rd. It's a course to learn the fundamentals of powder coating formulating. It's a 2-day technical hands-on course to introduce formulators, chemists, and scientists to the fundamentals of creating a powder coating from the ground up.
Yeah, guys, this is a great course. We've been holding it for a couple of years now. We did it virtually in 2020, but this is an opportunity for you to spend 2 days in our lab with lectures, hands-on type demonstrations, and actually getting your hands dirty, making powder samples yourself. So if you'd like details about signing up, please contact me, Kevin Biller, at kevinbiller@yahoo.com. All right, powder coating fans, you can catch the Ask Joe Powder Q&A in print. Yes, it's still in print on the in the Powder Coated Tough magazine, which is issued 6 times a year. Also, Polymers Paint and Color Journal, which is published in the United Kingdom and distributed throughout Europe and the Middle East. You can also find it at the respective websites of both of those publications, and you can find it at PCI Magazine, which is Paint and Coatings Industry, PCIMag.com, under their Finishing Flash tab.
You can find us online at AskJoePowder.com. If you want to be informed as soon as each episode comes out, subscribe on whatever your favorite podcast app is, whether it's Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google, whatever it is. Look for us on YouTube and Twitter. And if you want to ask a question, you can send it to our email address, which is askjoepowder@yahoo.com. Or you can call in and leave a message at country code 1-478-2-ASK-JOE. That's 1-478-227-5563. This has been a production of the Powder Coating Research Group. Our recording, editing, and music is all done by Nick Page. You can stick around to the end to hear a preview of his exciting new project. And on that bombshell, back to the studio.
And keep your powder dry, my friends.
Thank you for listening to the Ask Joe Powder Powdcast. This episode was brought to you by Gema. Gema's OptiStar all-in-one control unit leads the industry with a design fusing electrostatics and power feed in one compact device. By combining the powder injector and control unit functionality into one device, you get the highest coating efficiency, fastest response times of powder output, and excellent cleaning performance. For more information, call 877-437-6771. Once again, that's 877-437-6771. And be sure to mention, Ask Joe sent me. Configure it, feed it, optimize it, integrate it. Complete it with Gema.
Sorry, Nick, you're going to have to edit this. I'm not sure what to say. It's lead.
Oh, no, you can just, that's it.
I know, but it's like
Okay. Yeah,
Green Building Council imperialism.
All right.
Hi, this is Nick, the producer of this podcast, speaking to you as the musician Nick Page! I've got a new album out. It's called Badinage. That's spelled bad in age, all is one word. It means making jokes with your friends. We've got spooky songs like this on it. But we've also got happy songs.
Like the best. It's almost time for another test. My car's got an ejector seat. It's not in the back.
And we've got sad songs.
Logic dissipates. Sickness in the pit of your gut. And you feel you can't stand up.
There's guitar. There's accordion. It's got something for everybody, probably. Check it out wherever music is streamed, and you can download it for free at nickstatic.bandcamp.com. Thank you. Welcome to Bad